So let's look at one. Why is one so important to closely define Tao? First of all, one is a metaphor of Tao. One in Chinese is just this single line here, like a straight line. So this straight line is the origin, the beginning. I have to take you to I Ching. Let me take you to the formation of a triagram. Before the formation of the A triagram, it really starts from the beginning of Wuji. So Wuji is total emptiness. Nothing is happening. It's total emptiness, it's total void. And from this Wuji, it gives rise to this one little dot. And from this one little dot, this dot is equivalent to this one. In other words, they are the same. Here I have the term Taiji. So some people think that Taiji is this symbol here. Actually, Taiji is really just this little dot. It's the action right after the Wuji state. So from Taiji, it evolved into two symbols. And from this two symbol, it continued on to four symbol. Taiji, it means three things. It means the little dot, the two symbol, and the next one, it means four symbol. So let's start from number one here. So the symbol of this line here, which in I Ching, it means Yan, Y-A-N-G. That's the great primal beginning of all that exists because it's just right after Wuji. Second, it's the state of absolute and infinite potential because from this little dot, it's the start of the all the creation. From this point on, it goes to the A triagram and it further produced into the 64 hexagram. Number three, the initial state of the universe is right in the moment of Big Bang. So the Big Bang theories echoes with the I Ching too. Number four, it's the initial singularity. As you can see, there's only one, and from one, it's split into two. So this oneness is very important. It's before the duality happened. From this state, the yin and yang were generated. So this is how important is one in the concept of Tao or Tao Te Ching. Next one, B, one is the starting point of all the numerical accumulation. C, when connecting the two ends of one, and when you wrap it around, it becomes a circle. So that means endless circulation. And D, the one dot, when it's in the form of a shape of yen, Y-A-N-G, with expansion, represent consistency and continuation. It can last forever, last infinitely. So that's this one here. But when you minimize it, it becomes a dot. And with that dot, it can return to Wuji. And the last one, the symbol of Yang, Y-A-N-G, can be also written as a straight line. So when we look at it as a straight line, vertically, it prevails all around. So we can think about this as an invisible line that encompasses from earth to heaven, or we can look at it from the underworld to spiritual realm and to heaven. It just extends forever and infinitely. Here is the last two. One, in the simplest form, is the synonym of Tao. Tao has several synonyms. One is a good word to describe it. With the first three verses from this chapter, invisible, inaudible, and intangible. And when these three combine with one, it just gives the concept of Tao more profound meaning, more characteristic, and more mystery to it. And we can look at one from the word Zen perspective. A lot of Westerners, they know about this word, but they don't know what it means. So Zen, in Chinese definition, it means deep meditation. But when you study the character or the formation of this word, you will understand the meaning behind it. So this one can be separated into two parts. The one on the left, it means to show, to demonstrate, or to manifest. The one on the right, it means singular or communion, one or oneness. It shows that during our meditation, everything have to come together as one. But then during that process of come together as one, you have to show you are one. That's where the deep meditation comes in. So I have this picture here. This picture works in Tao. I use this several times. And this one can also use in deep meditation too. When you are in deep meditation, everything will come to this little dot here. And also when we are in the active state, while we are working or when we are talking to friends or when we see something, we want to make sure our eyes, our ear, and our mouth, our nose, our mind, and our hand are in communion with this little dot here. Whenever I see something, I have to ask myself, is this appropriate? If it's not, then I should just let go, or I don't see it at all. And maybe a friend of mine talk to me in gossip, and which I cannot stop, or I hear something that deviates from Tao. And when I reflect on my own one, I say, well, I'm not going to listen to it, or I listen from 1 year and I let it go right away. In other words, there's no attachment or no clinging. When I speak, I would always check with myself, does this echo with one? If it doesn't, then I shouldn't speak. So here is the picture of the three monkey. We only see whatever is appropriate, and we only hear what's appropriate, and we only speak what we should speak. And this slide is about one from the cultivation perspective. Human is made out of two parts, as I mentioned before, the physical part and the invisible part. A lot of Westerners, they believe that ritual and worship is not part of the cultivation. So I want to say that ritual, worship, bowing, and kneeling are very important on top of the meditation. Most of them, they can accept the idea of chanting mantra. It's good for reach the concept of oneness, or practicing Tao, singing mantra or chanting mantra, listen to holy music, listening to good music or peaceful music with tranquility, and meditation. They agree on this, but they don't really agree on this two part. Do you believe that we all come from the source of creation? So the source of energy is the big source of existence. So we are all born out of the big source, and that kind of source is within you. So since you are born out of the source, if the source is perfect, therefore the source within you is also perfect too. So we can call this micro or macro energy. So the quality is the same. So another analogy I can tell you is that if we are in a big ocean, if I scoop out a drop of water, does that drop of water have the same content as the big ocean? It does. It's this kind of concept. We are from the big source. Your source of energy is exactly same as the creation of the source. The quality is the same. And more specifically, that source of energy is within you. It's inside of your heavenly portal, 3-inch behind. So this is the vibrational energy within you. You are in the micro universe. So when we do the ritual, I'm sorry, let me take it back. So do you believe the source? Do you believe the source that creates you? So if you believe the source that creates you, you also have that source. That means you also believe yourself too. So when we go to the temple, when we do the ritual, when we do the worshiping, bowing, and kneeling, we are actually worshiping to the creation of the source. And if you are worshiping to the creation of the source, and since you have the same energy, that worship, that kind of physical form is just to remind ourselves that we are part of that energy. So when we do the ritual, it's the same too. Now let me take you to the actual form of ritual. So in the temple, we have Buddha. Buddha's temple, they all have Buddha. Tao temple have Buddha too. So the Buddha and you come from the same source, because one day, hopefully one day, you will become Buddha and I will become Buddha. But right now we are just in the Buddha camp. So we are worshiping Buddha, but that worshiping is just to remind us that there's already somebody in front of us walking on this path. They already achieved that success. So that Buddha is to remind us the path of cultivation, the path of Tao. Somebody is in front of us and we are behind. It's just to help us to understand so that we can make that digestion, that one day we can follow the path. So when we do the worship, we are actually worshiping to ourselves, our inner Buddha. We are bowing to our inner Buddha. We are kneeling to our inner Buddha. And in the Christian term, we can say that we are praying to our inner angel. All this activity is just to remind us that somebody is already there in front of us. So we just need to catch up. And once we catch up, we will be there. So when we catch up with this physical behavior, it's helping us to achieve the oneness, to achieve the invisible, the inaudible, and the intangible being. And in this chapter, we call it the oneness. These are all the synonyms, the Tao, the essence, the guiding principle, or the true self.